Welcome to the Albuquerque Regional Correctional Center. This video provides an overview of the visitation rules and regulations. It is important for inmates and detainees to maintain close ties with supportive and positive influences in their lives, their families, their friends, and their community. Those who do adjust better to their confinement. We will do everything possible to help inmates who are in full compliance with the facility's rules and regulations to meet with their family and friends. The facility will also ensure that detainees have access to their attorneys to adequately prepare for their court cases. The Regional Correctional Center has strict rules and regulations that visitors and detainees must follow. By following the rules of the facility, inmates and detainees can maintain connections with their families, friends, and community, prevent contraband from entering our facility, and ensure the safety of visitors as well as everyone who works and lives in the Regional Correctional Center. Policies and procedures. Connections to family and friends are maintained through frequent and regular visits. Inmates and detainees may call families and friends to discuss the visitation schedule, either by making a collect call from their housing unit or by purchasing a PCS prepaid phone card through the commissary with funds from their inmate account. Families and friends may also sign up with PCS to receive prepaid collect calls to specific phone numbers. These prepaid call accounts may be set up by calling PCS at 888-288-9879 or by visiting their website at www.pcsdailydial.com. Visitation schedule. For those in general population, visiting hours are 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. 4 days a week, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. General population inmates and detainees are allowed 2 one-hour visits each week. Inmates and detainees are limited to 1 visit per day. For those in segregation units, visiting hours are 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Friday only. Segregated inmates and detainees are limited to a single 1-hour visit each week. New intakes and detainees housed in booking are not permitted visitation until properly classified. This process takes up to 48 hours while the detainee is assigned to a housing unit. Inmates and detainees in the medical unit are not allowed visits while they are housed in the medical area. Individuals admitted to a community hospital are also not allowed visits. Attorneys must contact our facility to coordinate visits with their clients. We will do our best to ensure that visits are conducted in a private area during regular visiting hours. All visits must sign in by 2:30 p.m. to be processed for visitation. Visits are always 1 hour in length and may not be split into shorter visits. All social visits are non-contact. Sufficient space will be provided for detainee visiting. Inmate and detainee procedures. During the booking and intake process, detainees will be asked to fill out a temporary visitation form. Each person listed on the form will be given a visitation questionnaire, statement of understanding, and the facility's visitation rules of conduct. Once verified, the names on the temporary visitation form will be placed on the detainee's permanent visitation list. Detainees will be allowed a maximum of 5 adult visitors on the approved list and will be allowed to request changes. Visitation procedures. No more than 3 adults are allowed to visit a single detainee at any time. Prior written approval is required for any exceptions. All visitors must enter through the facility's main entrance and successfully pass through a metal detector and drug detection device. Visitors will sign in and provide a valid picture ID at the reception desk. First-time visitors must complete an application. Before their second visit, an electronic background check will be completed. Based on the background check, visitors who pose a safety and security risk will be ineligible to enter our facility and will be notified before their next scheduled visit. All personal property brought to the facility must remain inside the visitor's vehicle. Hats, coats, handbags, gloves, belts, keys, or other personal items not approved by the front officer must be placed in a locker inside the front lobby. Visitors will be issued a key to the locker. All visitors are subject to a search. This search may be conducted at the discretion of the warden, deputy warden, chief of security, or shift commander, if they think someone poses a safety and/or security threat by possibly introducing contraband into the facility. Visitors and small children will be allowed 2 diapers, 1 plastic bottle, 2 baby wipes, and 1 blanket. Infant carriers, strollers, and diaper bags are not allowed inside the visiting areas. Visitors under the age of 18 must be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian. Minor children may never be left unattended in the facility reception area. Special and extended visits must have prior approval and conform to all other visitation regulations. Changes in location or accommodations of the visit will be at the discretion of the warden. Food or drinks are never allowed beyond the front lobby except for 1 plastic baby bottle for visitors with infant children. There is a strict dress code for visitors. Shorts, dresses, skirts 3 inches above the knee, open-toe sandals, sleeveless shirts or blouses, tops exposing the midriff area, or spandex clothing are not allowed. Clothing cannot be sexually provocative or promote drug use or gang activity. Tobacco products and cell phones are also prohibited. Out of respect for others, loud disruptive behavior is also not allowed. Rule violations. If you or the person you are visiting fail to follow the rules and regulations of this facility, you will be subject to disciplinary charges and, in some cases, criminal prosecution. Visitors violating any rule may have their visitation privileges revoked. Visitors and/or detainees attempting to introduce contraband, including drugs, weapons, tobacco, cell phones, or other items, are subject to arrest and prosecution for violation of state and/or federal laws. Inmate and detainee penalties for rule violations may include loss of visitation privileges, a verbal warning, loss of other privileges, restitution, segregation, and/or loss of good time. Safety initiatives. The well-being and safety of visitors, inmates, detainees, and the facility staff is our #1 priority. This is why we aggressively pursue action against anyone introducing or attempting to introduce contraband that threatens good order and the security of our facility. Our policies, procedures, and rules have been put in place to guard against the introduction of contraband or behaviors that might facilitate an escape or bring harm to anyone. Contraband that helps an inmate or detainee escape puts the community at risk. Contraband like money, drugs, tobacco, cell phones, and weapons also leads to altercations and puts staff and detainees in danger. To deter the introduction of contraband to our facility, we routinely search detainees, their living quarters, and specific areas of the facility. We routinely use dogs to sniff for drugs and use a drug detection device at our facility's front entrance. To ensure everyone's safety, detainees are also searched before and after each visit. The visiting room is also searched before and after each visit. We ask visitors, staff, inmates, and detainees to help with RCC's safety mission by using the TIPS program. If you see anyone attempting to introduce contraband, call the TIPS hotline at 888-267-6920. This helps control contraband, which ultimately makes RCC a safer place and ensures a healthy environment for everyone. If your information leads to the arrest and conviction of anyone trying to introduce contraband into our facility, you could receive an award of up to $2,500. By following RCC's policies and procedures and the TIPS hotline number, you not only ensure the safety of detainees and correctional staff, but also your own safety, your family's safety, and our community's safety. If you have any questions regarding this program, please ask a corrections staff member for assistance.